me time on the road, on the road.
In the heart of South Wales is a family-owned haulage firm.
To be Wales's biggest haulier, we fly that Welsh flag around the country every day.
Employing 1,000 people.
My papa drove trucks, my uncle drove trucks. I probably have diesel for blood.
Who keep Britain moving.
If the haulage industry stopped, there would be absolute chaos.
This is a nightmare.
Shifting everything we need.
It's a long day and a good day.
I met a lot of good folks on the road, on the road.
I've been places where once you've mentioned Llanelli, someone will say, oh, you know, the blue trucks.
Working 24/7, 364 days a year.
Welcome to Wales. You're getting paid to be a tourist.
We're riding up front with the kings and queens of the road.
You're out, you're seeing the daylight, seeing the scenery.
What a day to be alive!
Hey!
I had me a time on the road.
It's early morning, and as the alarm clocks go off, the ignition lights go on. The company is gearing up, ready for another day of trucking trials and tribulations.
You'll be on top and I'm on the bottom. I'm not going to top of you, people will start talking.
His shoulders are sore, carrying you all day.
Oh my God, it's amazing. Next time I see you, I'm going to give you a big hug.
One of the company's longest-serving drivers is Jason Bennett, aka Block.
Even my grandchildren know me as Block. My father was the foreman in the trailer workshop. And I was working with him, so a few of the old fitters, they used to say the chip off the old block. Well, in the end, it just got shortened to Block. And it stayed ever since. My grandfather was one of the drivers who did do the Middle East in the 70s. So I suppose travelling's in the blood. Once I was 17, passed my car test. That was it. Vans, 7.5 tonners, all over the country. You can't compare the jobs now. In them days, we didn't even have a bed. You were sleeping across the seats. Every load had to be sheeted down. You'd be folding the sheets in the wind and the rain and the ice, and it wasn't nice. No, it's all auto boxes, it's cruise control. You've only got to be here now to point it in the right direction.
Block's on his way to meet another long-time trucking aficionado, best mate Duncan, who's over at the Daven depot.
Gotta get the old girl Shiner, win another trophy, add it to the collection. I used to stand there watching all the lorries since I was 6-year-old. Passed my class 1 a week after my 21st birthday, and lorries have been all my life.
A bad accident a few years ago left Duncan unable to drive. But now he's the owner of 2 vintage lorries and takes pride in preserving, maintaining and taking them to shows up and down the country.
If I wasn't doing this, I'd just be in pain in bed. I said I needed something, you know, for the purpose of life. This truck's name is Shirley Purley. It's named after my mother. She's won a lot of trophies this year, first year's out. And I don't trust many to drive these. But Block, he's a good mate and a fantastic driver.
And he's currently en route to pick up Duncan's 2nd vintage truck.
We've been mates for years and years. He always wanted an old Audi. He managed to get one in the end. But when you've got big toys, you need a big toy box to keep them in. So he approached Ian, and they come to an arrangement.
That toy box consists of a warm and toasty warehouse, perfect for storing the old girls in.
The Audis have been painted in always the colours, and we take them around the shows. He can't drive them himself due to an accident he had. He asked me if I'd be willing to drive them about. I was glad to help him, and I was having a bit of enjoyment out of it as well, driving something that I used to go out in with my grandfather when I was a little boy, the same lorry.
Block is swapping the comfort of his modern cab and is going back to basics in this 1972 Atkinson Borderer.
Get this one back to the yard in Darwin as well now. Anyone who says they've never got the gearbox wrong, absolute liar. When I left school, there was still a few of these on the road. And you had to learn to drive them just to move trailers about in the yard. You feel tired after a couple of hours. The noise just doesn't stop. The heat coming up out of the engine, the vibration, it just doesn't end. Well, years ago, drivers were taking these things all over Europe, taking them to the Middle East. Compared to today's modern lorries, you wouldn't even want to take one as far as Swansea. You don't realise what hard work this could be. You feel every bump, every pothole, every cat's eye. I would imagine this would be very, very tiring to drive for a full shift. So I got to take my hats off to the old boys that used to drive them every day.
Luckily for Block, it's only a short drive before he arrives at the Davern depot to help prep the trucks.
Silence.
Ah, that's better. Across the yard, it's anything but silent in the service centre. Keeping the fleet of over 400 trucks on the road is the job of 14 mechanics. The company recently made the decision to set up its own in-house repair centre under the watchful eye of Andy, head of fleet and compliance.
If it's off the road, it's not making money, and you've got drivers sat there with nothing to do.
Good. You want to tell the wife about more right now?
Day in, day out, it's the job of the mechanics to get the vehicles back on the road in the quickest time possible.
So, full MOT inspection, which includes then internal checks inside the curtains, checking loading straps.
One of the workshop's mechanics is Mark Murphy, known to the boys as Murph.
Been a mechanic for 42 years. It's good, very interesting. No 2 days are the same, and it just keeps you on your toes.
My report is valve loose. So, light. Look round, see if we can find anything that's insecure. Somebody else did the MOT inspection on it, and he's got down valve loose. When you're talking about a vehicle with probably 20 valves, it can be quite difficult maybe to find the fob.
The answer? To check every single one. Good luck, boys. Whilst the boys are tracking down that valve, new recruit driver Laura has a day of shunting ahead, which means lots of short routes back and forth along the M4.
So we are basically rolling empty to Waterton Point to get reloaded to go further. Doing like the short trips from one place to another, like we're doing today, it's all part of general haulage. So, you know, it all adds to the mystery of what I'm doing day by day. I never know what my day is going to be, and I absolutely love it. So many drivers have said, oh, you know, you'll get to a point where you hate the job, and it's just like, no. I just look up at these trucks and I'll literally have to take a few steps back, and it's just like, oh my God. If I ever see a male driver and they've sort of done, you know, the comical like double take, you know, like you see in cartoons, like, what? And it's just like, truck, yeah, I am female, you know, I can drive a truck just the same as you.
It's not long before Laura reaches the first depot. Her load today is building materials, bound for Bridgend.
We've got a problem. I can't get that strap out because they've put a pallet on top of it.
Time to track down a forklift.
Hello?
Which is easier said than done.
I know where they'll be. I know where they'll be. Can someone come and lift a pallet for me, please? Because one of my straps is stuck under it, so I can't strap my load. Thank you.
Good news, forklift found. Bad news, the weather has turned. Surely that'll dampen Laura's spirits.
My granddad always told me that your skin's waterproof. I like being out in the elements. I'm rather critical of myself because I want to do such a good job, but at the end of the day, we are humans. We are gonna make mistakes. Right, okay. So as I was saying about mistakes, I'm gonna now have to undo the tension in this curtain because I haven't put one of the support pillars in for the roof. And, you know, because I want to do a good job, I want to do it properly. My pap has always told me if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well and doing properly. So that's what I'm going to do, basically. So.
And putting the missing roof support back in means a 20-minute delay. With a job well done, Laura is off on another trucking adventure, not knowing what's around the next corner. But some drivers, like veteran trucker Di John, tend to prefer a more regular routine. He's over at the Bridgend depot and clocking in to start his night shift.
I've got to the age now where I'm happy enough to still drive, but do a regular run. So same truck, same trailer.
Same truck, same place, same trailer.
No problem.
Yeah.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you, have a nice
Bye
shift.
now.
Bye.
I love the people I work with, and I love the part that they do keep me on the same vehicle all the time, because they know I like just having the same truck, and it's always kept clean. See you in the morning. Yeah, ta-ra, Rhian. And this is my old girl.
Sleeping all day and driving all night, Di's keen to keep an eye on his waistline.
Because we're health eating, we keep eating a lot of fruit. Ready to go.
Di's no stranger to this run. He's been doing this nightly trip to Burton-on-Trent for the past year. His load is a mix of smaller items to be distributed throughout the network.
Years ago, I used to not knowing where I was going. That was the excitement of the job. I'm 63 now, and I've done all that. I've done all the exciting part, and I'm just happy now to see my time out doing this type of job. When I started with Owens, I was on £4 an hour. Like I say, I'm a dinosaur to this industry now. The trucks are easier to drive, but I'm not into all this computer and that. I'd be happy enough with the old book and that. My dad was a truck driver when I was a kid. Always wanted to follow in my father's footsteps. When he retired from work, the company offered me the job. So I basically took over my father's job. A lot of drivers agree it's in your blood. And once in your blood, there's no way you can get out of it. Once I got into it, my brother followed.
And so did one of Di's sons, Dean. Despite being in the army, he also wanted to get his HGV licence.
Dean, he was like me when I was with my father, and my son was with me. And he used to watch what I was doing. Any chance he had, he'd be in a truck, same as me. So yes, it was in his blood. This is what I normally do. Park by here, and we have coffee. Right, see you in the morning. Right, thank you. Bye now.
Thank you, bye.
In Darwen, there's no chance of a tea break for Block and Duncan. The only thing on the menu for them is a large pot of elbow grease.
Come on then, let's get it sorted and get it on that trailer.
They're prepping the vintage trucks ready for one of the most important events on the trucking calendar, the Bilth Wells Truck Fest. But first, they have to get the Atkinson Borderer trucks looking their best.
Just got to do it bit by bit, soft cloths. It's not a 2-minute job, but when they are looking right then, and the sun is on them, they do look special, to be fair.
Have you done that trim, eh? Make sure you do the trim in the middle. If you're going to do it properly.
If I rub it anymore, Genie will come out of it.
Well, that's wishful thinking.
Right.
What about the other side?
Well, you better go down and inspect, then you're the boss.
Oh, you haven't done a very good job of this side. We started May this year. Came first prize down in Pembrey. We had a highly commended in Malvern and Shepton Mallet.
Second overall, wasn't it? In the
Second overall, best vintage there, so we were really pleased. I think she's ready for the trailer, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think she's ready to go on the trailer, isn't she?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll watch you on. Sometime today, Block. When I purchased the vehicle and I opened the door of the cab, and as soon as I opened the door, it took me back instantly to when I was 6, to my childhood, so...
I'm enjoying listening to your stories.
Yeah?
And I start calling you Duncan the storyteller.
Oh.
I was nearly nodding off to sleep then.
Were you?
Oh, fantastic.
It was that interesting.
Oh.
As hard as he is and as witty as he is, he cries like a baby when we win trophies. But I'm not supposed to tell anyone that.
No, it was dust. When we don't shut them out, there was a bit of dust.
What about the show before?
Grab sand. When you see your mates happy, it's easy to be happy, isn't it?
They're not that good. There's marks on it there, I can see. Oh no, they're mine.
They are, they're down low. Yeah. Can't do like you do, listen.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
I think you might have lent against it.
Right, that's that all done. Built well, it's now.
As Block and Duncan battle their way up through the valleys, newly qualified driver Laura is still battling the elements.
So if you're driving in weather like this, the braking distance for a truck is increased. It's increased fourfold. People don't realise.
And just like being on the road, life can have its slippery moments as well.
If you met me 6 years ago, I was a completely different person. I guess you could say that I had a dark cloud following me.
She has since met her fiancé and fellow driver, Ben.
I wouldn't be the person I am now without Ben. Ben is basically the source of my happiness, you know. He loves me for everything that I am, like, completely and utterly. I am, honestly, the luckiest girl in the universe for us to be living our trucking adventures.
And having navigated the pitfalls of love, Laura now has to manoeuvre a 55-foot truck.
Okay, careful not to take the gates out. There's a specific way I've got to do this. I've figured it out, right? We've got to get the back of my trailer right close to the skip.
In a tight space like this, the manoeuvre is anything but simple. One false move could result in the truck being jackknifed, a term used when the cab ends up facing the opposite direction to the trailer, resulting in the lorry becoming stuck.
Oh, I did not like that. Did not like that at all. Wow. Can't believe I did that. Yes. Oh, I'm still smiling about that manoeuvre. You know, that's the main aim of the game, not to hit anything.
And not hitting anything, Laura, means keeping the boys in the service centre happy.
How do you manage to get that stuck in there?
James.
Has mechanic Murph tracked down that valve yet?
I think we found a valve which is certainly hanging down, so we will now try and re-secure it on somewhere, and then it can go for MOT. We're just going to secure it down now with a couple of ties.
Cable ties, yeah, says every job. Can't do a job without a cable tie.
Gives a 28 and a 30.
Yeah.
I think we're quite happy now. So if you want to, Leon, if you just want to jump in and start it up. Excellent.
Nice work, boys.
Yeah, good man. So, good. So, yeah, she's ready to go down for her MOT.
What we say, Murph?
When it's not the trucks causing Murph a headache, it's the other mechanics.
Old Joe Exotic. With a moustache. The Joe Exotic, isn't he?
Who are convinced he bears a striking resemblance to someone.
Joe Exotic. Tiger King. What's he?
Joe's somebody, I can't remember, Tiger Man or something, I don't know what he is, but you know, he thinks I look like him, but no. Yeah.
Ah, the boys love the banter. En route to Burton-on-Trent, long-serving driver Di is enjoying the peace and quiet of the night shift. Both Di's sons served in Afghanistan, but when Dean was back home from his army duties, he would drive trucks alongside his dad.
In the army, he was Corporal Dean Thomas John. Him and my other son, Simon. I'd go out partying with them and to nightclubs. Because I never had any mates of my own. I've always been a loner. Yeah, they were showing me how to enjoy myself.
Then, in 2009, Di was on a driving shift when he got a call from the office.
I said, what's wrong? I said, you might as well tell me, because I'll only worry. It's your son, Dean. I said, is he injured? No, he's dead. How I got home, I don't know. But I got home, I did. And the rest is just a blur. When his wife come back, she explained, Dean said he didn't want to go in a hearse. He wanted to go on the back of a truck. And fair play, the Owens family put a brand new truck on to carry Dean. And it was my brother that drove the truck to the creme. I was proud to see it, and with his name on the front, because my other son had to be in full military uniform. So I decided to wear the kilt, the Pride of Wales. All his neighbours and friends threw daffodils on the road for him, and the school children were out. Well, Port Talbot came to a stop at one stage. Gives you a lump in the throat, but also makes you proud that the people of Port Talbot respected it as well. You'd have been over the moon with it, with the way it was done. I had counselling for 2 years, and it did help me, and it helps me to look at things in different ways. I found it hard, but as years go on, you're just proud of, not proud of him being in the army or this, you're just proud of being your son. So much has gone on in my life. I think of them all every day, but no, I'm happy enough driving a truck.
Over in Builthwells, it's the day of the Mid-Wales Autumn Fair. And best pals Block and Duncan have arrived with their prized vintage trucks. With over 100 lorries on show, both old and new, it's a great opportunity for owners to show off and share their trucking tales. The boys have landed themselves a prime spot. Now it's just a case of positioning.
Don't forget to go get stuff off the back. Straighten up. Straighten up. Straighten up. Straighten up.
I'm straightening up.
That's sticking out miles. It looks as if you're sweating. The pressure's on. I'm not sweating, though. Look, you've dirtied them.
There we are. My fault, look.
Every time you go out.
My fault. Yeah.
Every time you go out, you dirty them.
You worse than my mother, you are.
Polish, repeat, clean. Polish, repeat, clean. All the time.
I get Lancashire, if I lick a corner, I go like that.
That's not a bad shine now, is it? Well, you think people used to go Europe in them years ago, as they are. Sleep over the bonnet like a little board. Freezing cold in the winter and boiling hot in the summer. I think she's looking good. Oh, look, there's a smudge, eh?
It's not just Duncan's lorries people have come here to see. Some owners, like Phil, have taken their trucking passion to another level.
So we seen the truck in the local garage being stripped, and pretty much my heart rose my head. We went in, we done the deal on it and purchased it, and from there it's turned into this. The paintwork was always something I wanted to do, and I knew the theme was going to be rugby. And just to be really over the top, in the case there we've got a little rugby ball, which is from the 2019 New Zealand Rugby Tour.
But it's Duncan's vintage girls that are pulling in the crowds.
I tell you what, the old ones are the best.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I more or less started the driving career on the Atkinsons and ERFs. I'm on the job now 55 years.
55 years on the job?
At the age of 72.
72?
Yeah.
So you have got diesel going through your veins.
Right, got a power jump in. Go on in, you get. Close the door, don't you fall in out. There we are.
I'd love to be a lorry driver one day.
That has gone down the storm this year. I've got loads of trophies for it. And they went to that tow show, which was prestigious. You don't get offered to go there unless it's special, and the bloke loved it.
Well, you've got the comfort you've got these days, over you. Is it better Nick than me, and I'm only 37?
And even the donks popped by with the grandkids. The next generation of drivers, maybe?
These shows are great. Look at the trucks here now, old trucks, which a lot of people don't realise what work goes into them to get them back on the road. Old school like me have driven one like that. A youngster wouldn't even know how to drive, something like that.
You're
coming down soon, eh?
It hasn't been a bad day, has it?
The kids have been all over the old ones.
Yeah.
Wet outside, dry inside, and we had a fantastic welcome.
If you'd made a bit more coffee, we'd be wet on the inside.
We haven't had time.
Well, now the show is over, perhaps it's time to pull the thing out, then, yeah?
Yeah, OK, I might make you a coffee if you're lucky.
There we are. Mike, coffee.
Where you going Monday?
Newcastle.
Next time, life on the road is a struggle for rookie driver Gareth.
Like junction 24, Potter's Bar, and the traffic is absolutely horrendous.
Courier Gary kicks rivalries into touch with a 5-star drop-off.
We're delivering to the Parker Scarlets, but I'm a big Ospreys fan.
And a birthday to remember for company founder Hugh.
Oh, there's a car coming in now. There's a car coming in. Is it Hugh?